Hello, I'm Philip Sneller. Welcome to Window on the Word. Let's turn together to Genesis chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob took away all that was our father's, and from what was our father's he has made all this abundance. And Jacob saw Laban's face, and behold, it was not with him as before. And the Lord said to Jacob, Return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. Then Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field to his flock. And he said to them, I see your father's face. It is not like it was before. But the God of my father has been with me, and you yourselves know that with all my strength I have served your father, and your father has deceived me, and he has changed my wages 10 times. But God has not allowed him to hurt me. If he said, The speckled will be your wages, all the flock bore speckled. And if he said, The striped will be your wages, all the flock bore striped. So God took away the livestock of your father and gave it to me. And it came about at the time when the flock was in heat, I lifted my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the he-goats that mated with the flock were striped, speckled, and spotted. And an angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Now lift up your eyes and see. All the he-goats that mate with all the flock are striped, speckled, and spotted, because I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar, where you made a vow to me. Now, rise, depart from this land, and return to the land of your birth. And Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Is there still any portion and inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not esteemed as foreigners by him? Because he sold us, and he has also surely devoured our money. Indeed, all the riches that God has taken from our father is ours and our children's. So now, whatever God has said to you, do. So Jacob rose and put his children and his wives on camels, and he drove away all his livestock and all his property that he collected, the livestock in his possession that he collected in Paddan Aram, to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's idols. And Jacob stole away secretly from Laban the Aramean by not telling him he was running away. And he fled with all he had. And he rose and crossed the river, and set his face toward the hill country of Gilead. When it was reported to Laban on the 3rd day that Jacob had fled, he took his kinsman with him, and pursued him for 7 days, and overtook him in the hill country of Gilead. And God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream at night, and said to him, Be on your guard, that you speak with Jacob neither good nor bad. And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen pitched his tent in the hill country of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What have you done? You stole away secretly from me, and you led off my daughters like captives of the sword. Why did you hide your intention to run away and deceive me and not tell me? I would have sent you away with festivity and songs, with timbrel and harp. But you did not permit me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Now you have acted foolishly. It is in my power to harm you. But the God of your fathers spoke to me yesterday, saying, Be on your guard, speaking to Jacob neither good nor bad. And now you have surely gone away, because you longed sorely for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, I was afraid, because I thought you would tear your daughters away from me. If you find your gods with anyone, that one shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, identify what is with me that is yours, and take it. Now Jacob did not know that Rachel stole them. So Laban went into Jacob's tent, and Leah's tent, and the tents of the two maidservants, but he did not find them. Then he came out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the idols and put them in the camel saddle and sat on them. And Laban felt through the whole tent, but he did not find them. And she said to her father, Do not be angry with me, my lord, because I am not able to rise before you, because I am having my period. And he searched, but he did not find the idols. Then Jacob burned with anger, and he quarreled with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my transgression? What is my sin that you hotly pursued me? For you have felt through all my goods. Now set it before my kindred and your kindred, and they will judge between the two of us. These 20 years that I have been with you, your ewes and your goats have not miscarried, and the rams of your flock I have not eaten. What was torn by animals I did not bring to you. I myself bore the loss of it. From my hand you exacted a penalty for what was stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was. By day I was devoured by parching heat and frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your flock, and you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac, had not been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God saw my affliction and the toil of my hands, and he reproved you yesterday. And Laban answered and said to Jacob, The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do for these my daughters today, or the children whom they bore? So now, come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between me and you. And Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. And Jacob said to his brethren, Pick up stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. And Laban called it Jegar-sahadutha, which means witness heap. And Jacob called it Gilead, which means witness heap. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and you today. Therefore its name was called Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, Let the Lord keep watch between me and you when we are out of each other's sight. If you afflict my daughters, or if you take wives besides my daughters, though no one is with us, observe, God is witness between me and you. Then Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold the pillar that I have set between me and you. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and you will not pass over this heap and pillar to me for harm. Let the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. And Jacob swore by the fear of Isaac his father. And Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain, and he called his brethren to eat bread, and they ate bread, and spent the night on the mountain. Many English translations include one more verse here. In my translation, I am choosing to follow the Hebrew text, which ends at chapter 31, verse 54, making what many English translations have as chapter 31, verse 55, in the Hebrew text, chapter 32, verse 1. Thank you for listening. To God be the glory.